Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guests are from an upcoming independent production here on the Kirkwood campus. Emma Kostiv and Matthew James, welcome.
Thank you.
The play is called Puffs, and for those who aren't familiar, we have to be somewhat careful in our description. Sure. Now, if I say the word puffs to you and then say, this is related to the adventures of a certain boy wizard and a team at a school, are we getting there? Are we getting close?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it is a little bit of a dodge on some intellectual property, but I've always been fond of parody, and so that's an awesome art form. So and it's also a fundraiser for the Iowa Trans Mutual Aid Society.
Yeah.
So how did the idea come about to do this?
So I am one of the producers along with my husband, Jacob Kostiv, and our friend Claire Boston. And the three of us, we worked on a previous production of Puffs, and we loved the show, and we were wanting to do it again. And I wanted to be involved as an actor. I had previously directed it. And then with all of the legislation that's come out in our society surrounding trans people, we just thought, what's something that we know how to do, and how can we come together and help? So it ended up being a perfect match between doing Puffs and then fundraising for Iowa Trans Mutual Aid Fund. And that's kind of where the idea came about, around a bonfire. We had been talking about it for about 2 years, and it's finally come to fruition.
I remember, I've never seen the show, but I remember being in cities where it was going on. In kind of small theaters, that kind of thing, and it exists as a parody of that franchise.
Yep.
That who shall not be named.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of like some characters in the original books and movies. Now
Right.
that I think about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
But I think you know what we're talking about. So tell me a little bit, Matthew. Tell me a little bit about the plot of the show, as much as we are able to do without infringing on intellectual property.
Absolutely. So it takes a very brief look at 7 years at a certain school of magic and magic. It's about 110-ish minutes. So it moves along pretty quickly. I would say you get all of the highlights from the 7 different books, and it definitely lovingly pokes fun at both the books and the movies, and just it's a way to just come and have a good time. But it centers around a narrator, and it's sort of they're perpetuating the action and moving things along, and then there's a little bit of a twist at the end with that character.
So are we kind of seeing the events of the books and the movies from the point of view of that group of characters who were not really involved and we're just kind of watching on the sidelines while this is happening?
Yeah, so there's a new trio that's introduced in this, and they are American, who just happen to be able to go to the School of Magic and Magic.
Okay.
So it's told from their perspective, and I don't know if you've seen Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead.
Oh, sure.
It's sort of that sort of a take on the Potterverse, where things are happening around them and they're involved in some of those things, but they have their own twist and commentary on those actions and those events, while being affected by a lot of the things that happen within those books and movies.
I'll bet this is a very fun script.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's super fun. And there's a lot of improv elements. We have a lot of really great local actors that you've probably seen on stage before, but we're having so much fun kind of playing with each other, and it just feels like a really positive experience. And there's so many elements to it technically, so many props, so many costumes, all of the technical elements to create that kind of magic on stage. But it's a really, really fun script. And if you need a good laugh, it's a great show to come see.
What's the biggest challenge in mounting this production?
Oh, well, I would say just having it be an independently produced show, I think we are all wearing lots of hats throughout the whole production. So we are building the set, and were doing the costumes and doing the props and also working with the cast and whatnot. So just all of those elements that kind of we have to fit all those puzzle pieces together while also acting. For me, it's like, oh yeah, I have to memorize my lines too. So I would say would be the biggest challenge for me personally.
And so you mentioned that you wanted to come back to this because you directed it and then thought it'd be a blast to do it. So what part did you pick?
So I chose to play the role of Leanne, who is kind of she's super fun, super positive, a little bit unhinged. She kind of lives in her own world, but it's fun because we see these characters from like 13-ish to 18-ish across the span of the story. And so it's really fun to kind of tap into that youthful energy, but, post-rehearsal, I'm ready for bed.
Yeah, well, and that is a challenge because you're doing all 7 of these books, and the movies had the advantage of the characters kind of aging in real time as they went through, but you're trying to do it all in 110 minutes.
Right, and I mean it's adults playing these adolescents, so there's a little tongue in cheek in that as well. But I think because of that, it also gives it just makes the action more fun and some of the events even more poignant, I think, just because of it's adults playing these characters.
What's your favorite part of the show?
This is going to sound maybe a little cheesy, but for me as the director, it's really been seeing how the cast has come together and just thrown in. There's a lot of really quick changes that happen. There's 2 characters especially that, it's literally they walk off stage and walk back on as a different character, and I really enjoy watching them do that. So I guess that's probably there's just a lot of fun little moments that are sprinkled throughout.
Emma, how about you? What's now that you're getting to dig in on stage? What's the part that you really look forward to?
Yeah, I think definitely working with the cast throughout the show, kind of telling that story, but really I think the story of the Puffs and how maybe they're not the heroes, but they still are loyal and they're kind and they create this kind of inclusive environment. I think deep down I'm a Puff, really, me, Emma. And so I think that just having that message put out there when sometimes the world can be a little bit dark and sad, and the Puffs just prevail with their happiness and joy. So it's nice to have those few hours every night of just like pure happiness.
So I think what I'm hearing here is that despite what the plot of the books will tell you, the Puffs are the true heroes of this whole story.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're their own heroes for sure.
That's right.
One of their catchphrases is "third or nothing."
But we're gonna do the best third place ever.
Yep.
So you're running 2 weekends in Kirkwood's Ballantyne Auditorium, starting on the 8th and running through is it the 18th?
The 9th through the 18th.
9th.
Yep.
August 9th through the 19th or 18th. How do we get tickets?
So the best way to get information is on our Facebook page, which is called Puffs Play and Benefit, and the ticket link is directly on there.
Okay. All right. And for those watching the video, that link has appeared underneath our faces even as we speak, and it's also in the documentation on the Facebook and YouTube post as well. Well, this just sounds like a riot. I've I've been a fan of this world for a long time, and what a treat to get to play in it.
Yes, we are so excited.
Again, it's Puffs in Kirkwood's Ballantyne Auditorium, opening August 9th, running for 2 weekends. And again, visit the Facebook page for tickets and the links right there. And again, what's the Facebook group?
Puffs Play and Benefit.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck with it. And
Thank
I hope you have a
you.
magical time.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:30 or download the podcast. Watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture or using your favorite podcast app. You can watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook and YouTube channels too. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. I'm Dennis Green. I'll talk to you later.